fair enough. So, but yeah, I think me and Save was talking. Everybody kept saying, "Hey, you guys should make a podcast show or just something that talks about the game history." Because a lot of people just like hearing us talk, and then occasionally KG's coming in and just saying some crazy random stuff that people start repeating and message me in my inbox. But hey, that's KG. That's why they love him. So.
But I guess while like what was it? Something about on. I got this thing right here. Okay. All right. So we were talking about before. I guess we'll start with the big thing. Well, it's not that big, I guess. The Heroes of the Storm. A few days ago.
Yes. Let us talk of these heroes.
A Founders Pack. Right? So I mean, we already touched on it a little bit, but you know, this is.
Oh yeah, we touched on it.
Gonna be highlighted a bit. So what's in? What's she say? I need to kill another. What's the Unforgiven? Where is that at?
Yeah, if you would have told me 5 to 10 years ago, and you might agree with this, is that Blizzard would allow you to somehow get into a beta by buying something, I would have called heresy. I would have called you a heretic, and I would have chased you off with a pitchfork.
Right. So what is it? They offer beta started on the 13th. So about a week later, they decided, okay, well, we're going to offer what we call a Founders Pack, you know. And that's a pretty common thing in a lot of crappy games as of recent. It's specifically a lot of relatively crappy free-to-play games, I guess, where for a flat fee, we offer a bunch of perks, basically, and early access to the game. Now, the game is in testing phase, and again, they let people in. And so what the Founders Pack consists of is 3 of, I think, the most inexpensive heroes in the game. Raynor, dirt cheap. I think most people who played it already have Raynor. Who else was it? Is it Diablo's in the pack? And it's
Gym Raider, it wasn't Kerrigan. Was it Kerrigan? No, she's too valuable. They wouldn't do that.
Let me actually check. I have it right here.
I know it's Gym Raider, Diablo.
Tyrande.
Yeah, the Night Elf leader.
Diablo, Tyrande, and Raynor. And a skin for each one. So you get 3 relatively cheap heroes and a skin for each one. And it costs you $40. And on top of that, you get access to the beta. Instant access to the beta.
Correct.
So Founders Packs usually come with some sort of like early access. But here's the thing. There are people already in the beta. So basically what you're doing is just saying, all right, you want to get in the beta? If we haven't flagged you yet, well, for $40, you can go ahead and get in. Because realistically, that's pretty much all that is. It's pretty much all it's for is for those people that haven't had an opportunity to get in beta yet, and they still want to get in a beta. And this gives them a way to do it. This gives them a way to go about it, and it's pretty crappy in my opinion, man. It's really stupid. I already feel like they shouldn't be selling characters, but they damn sure shouldn't be selling access to.
Now, if they were selling the characters, and they said something like, okay, well, if you buy the characters early, they're at a discount, and you'll own them permanently, but we're going to unlock everything so people can at least test it, because I'm all about the testing and making sure the game is balanced and stuff like that.
The Founders Pack in this case wouldn't be so bad, because I remember, I did, like, I was okay with Hi-Rez doing it with Smite, right?
Right.
I was okay with Hi-Rez doing it with Smite. And what they did, essentially, was say, all right, we're going to give you guys, for this one-time fee, $30, whatever, $40, I don't know exactly how much it was, but it wasn't too expensive. But it was like, you do this, you get some skins, you get every hero in the game that's in the game now, and that will ever be released in the future.
One-time upfront purchase and stuff.
The only thing you have to pay for, and this is completely optional, is if you want some cosmetic stuff. If you want to put a skin on your god.
Exactly.
You know, a skin on your hero. So a Founders Pack in that sense is a good Founders Pack. That's a Founders Pack done right. You know what I'm saying? And they didn't say, well, hey, you'll get into the beta. Their beta was an actual beta. It was fully open. Anybody could have played the game. You know, anybody could have played the game if they wanted to. That's how they did it. That's how it was run. So I don't know where where Blizzard got this weird idea to say we're gonna just tack on. They probably think, or at least maybe they wanted us to feel like this was some sort of an honor to say, oh man, Blizzard loves us so much. What a great reward! I'll give you $40. You give me 3 heroes and access to the beta. You're so great. Like I just want to make a point. I've had access to the alpha on 3 accounts for quite a while now.
Yeah, you were telling me about that.
I don't have to spend a dime. You know, my brother doesn't play a single Blizzard product. He does have a Battle.net account though, just because he gets bored sometime, and I set him up for it. And he got access to the alpha, you know, and they put me in here for myself again. And he got access to the alpha. So it's like, you're saying this is a loyalty program or something for your fans, like come be a part of this, but there are other people who already have access. They already have Raynor because you can buy him, or he's a free-to-play champion almost every week, you know. Diablo is relatively inexpensive. If you wanted to get him, if you wanted to get Tyrande, it's not that expensive to just buy them with the gold that you're given from just playing the game straight up. I completely disagree with how this was executed.
The biggest thing that really just makes me kind of like wonder what they're doing is because you have these other business models that have proven successive. You got the Smite, you got League of Legends, you have Dota. Now I can understand basically Blizzard's realizing they want to make a little bit of extra money. We won't say a little bit, but a lot.
Dota's good.
Dota gives you all the champions free. You only pay for cosmetics. League of Legends, it's not the greatest in the world, but it's not too bad in that situation. The amount of games you have to grind is not too bad.
Which is that says something. Because I feel that League is pretty grindy, but you know the math has been done, and Heroes of the Storm is somehow even grindier than League of Legends.
Which is really shocking.
To do that. Like I said, I don't realistically have that big of a problem with Founders Packs, but selling beta access is dumb. You don't include that in there. That's really stupid. If you want people to get into the beta, then they just get into the beta. You know, I know you're thinking like, well, if you buy this, you get beta access, and they probably, like I said, they probably believe that it makes sense. They probably believe that that's fair and some, like that's an actual benefit, that's some type of bonus or gift to people. And it's really not, you know, it really isn't.
I kind of believe they know they can get away with it. Like, I mean, if I'm looking at things from a businessman point of view and I'm looking at to maximize profits, because I tell people, this sounds horrible, don't think in terms of being a gamer. Think in terms of if you're an executive and you had certain quotas and you wanted to maximize your productivity and maximize profits to make your shareholders happy. And you know somebody is going to pay something, even if it's overpriced. I mean, just like you look at clothing or any, you know, products we have in our regular day society, it doesn't exclude gaming. People are still going to buy that stuff. They're still going to, they're going to be willing to pay for it. So I could say a little bit of the communities need to kind of work together to figure out something that's a fair pricing structure plan. But they know they can get away with it, so they're going to do it. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it.
I don't know anybody. I haven't read the forums because I kind of stay away from them.
Right.
I'm sure that there's some people who share the same sentiment that I do, and there's some people who are just like they don't really care about it. Well, I actually did see a couple comments, and you know, as to be expected, they're from both ends of the spectrum. There's one guy who's really, really happy because finally there's a way for him to get his wife into the game to play with him, and that's great for that guy that he can play the game with his wife just for $40. But he should understand that there should be a greater value. You know, not only should you get into the game, but all of the heroes should be free at that point, because they should all be free anyway.
Well, even League has some introductory levels with, like, you know, if for $40 or $50, I do believe, like when I first started in League, they had a smaller package, and even
they
just for
bundles, but those bundles were and still are awful. Like,
well, yeah, but I'll say this: at least I could spend $40 to $50. I don't know what the current pricing structure for League is, but I can't imagine it's too much. But I would get more than 3 heroes. I never cared about the skins and the cosmetics.
They do have those bundles.
Yeah, and then at some point they had like a. they had a five. I think you remember this. They had like a 5-person or 5-champion small bundle pack, and it was dirt cheap. And I don't understand why you have to pay.
Had a starter pack.
I don't understand why you have to pay $40
$40 for 3 heroes.
for 3 heroes. That's a little bit absurd. But then again, I don't want to say Blizzard fanboys. We'll just say people who really like Blizzard. They have money. I mean, these, everybody has. They might have good careers. They might not. They might have a lot of extra flow of money, and they don't mind spending it on it. And maybe those people might be the most people that vocalize everything and stuff like that. Because I notice a lot of people don't seem to be minding paying money nowadays. They're all for it.
Better value, man, and just I don't know. The pack is just not good.
No, I definitely agree with you on that. I think it's just instant gratification, Savius. They want it now. I don't mind paying money. I'm an adult. I can spend my one, and that's where they're kind of okay with it. Which is kind of sad, but I mean, that just kind of works. I mean, I even think KG. Have you spent any money on Heroes of the Storm? Because I know KG got into it. He just plays games to play games. He doesn't care, but I know he's a big advocate of not spending money either. KG's like, nah, didn't spend no kind of money on it because
Spend what? On what?
Heroes of the Storm in terms of buying heroes and stuff. Did you buy any heroes? Be honest.
Oh, I haven't spent no money on it. I got what? 2 heroes that are purchased right now. I have the Queen and Rainer. That's it.
And you bought those with gold, right?
And Rainer's like dirt cheap, right?
Yeah, Rainer's real cheap.
Yeah, Rainer's dead cheap,
He's
but
in the founder's
Gara,
pack. Maybe one of the
Gara's
cheapest.
10,000, and I almost have another 10,000. So
Yeah, so I remember, how was it though?
You almost have, so you can almost afford one more.
yeah, I can almost afford more.
But see, yeah, like I said, I don't have a problem with the founders pack as far as one existing. I just feel like the one that they put together is terrible.
Well,
that's pretty much it.
it'd be a little bit easier if they try to work with people and make a little bit better of how do you say, oh my goodness, if they just did better with like how much gold you get from the game. If you want to price stuff for the way they price stuff, but they actually said, hey, if you play at least maybe 20 hours a week, you can get out 2-3 champions a week, I'd be okay with that. But you can't do that.
You should not sell characters in a character-based game at all. It should be strictly cosmetic. If you're gonna sell a roster, you want to make a one-time fee, like they did, like Hi-Rez did with Smite.
Right.
You get all the characters that exist. You get all the characters in the future, and then so if you want to spend any money beyond that, it's only on cosmetic things. It's only on skins. It's only on making your characters prettier. Or we can sell announcer packs to change the voice of the announcer.
See, I like the announcer pack in that idea.
Map skins, or like they have mounts in Heroes of the Storm. We can sell new mounts. They're gonna constantly come out with new mounts anyway. That's a big thing in World of Warcraft. New mounts. They could even introduce companion pets or something. Like, hey, here's a cute pet for you.
Well,
it doesn't do
and
anything.
that's very true. But like I said, well, from the gamer standpoint, I do agree with you because Dodo's able to do it. All the characters are free. They make good income. They're able to keep going on and doing what they're doing. They're able to help fund their tournaments. They have large prize pools. They even get customer crowdsourcing for funds to put towards tournaments and stuff like that.
Crowdfunding is a thing too. It's a big thing. The Smite community just did it to push, because they just had their recent World Championships, and for such a small game that essentially just came out of beta not too long ago, have what was it a $5 million or $2.5? It was a $2.5 million overall prize pool, I think. But first place was 1.3 million, and yeah, they did a similar thing like what Valve did with the compendiums. They did it. I think it was for skin sales,
Right.
and they crowdsourced to help increase the overall prize pool for the game. And that's fine. They don't sell characters though.
No, they don't.
A big thing. Like, don't sell characters
Because they make plenty of money off the skins. And I think they have chests in Dota, don't they? Like when people unlock chests like they do in Counter-Strike or something like that, Savius? I know they have something other than just skins. Maybe somebody in the chat might know, but I do know they have...
There's like armor pieces and there's a few things that they do. I'm not exactly sure. what they are.
Hey, KJ, I love you.
I
Turn
don't
down
play
your game
Dota,
sound a little
so
bit.
like I don't
You
play
play it
Dota.
on loud.
I
But
know
I
that they
mean,
don't sell their heroes.
we all can agree that there has been a market structure. There's multiple MOBAs. Dota has done it right. Smite has done it right. They both have different options, which are pretty fair. Smite, you pay one up from free, you get all the heroes for free. Cosmetic stuff, you pay extra. Same thing in Dota. Well, not same, but Dota, they have it so that, okay, well, all the characters are free. You're going to pay cosmetic stuff. And then that's pretty much about it. But it's just weird that League of Legends, and especially all these new mobiles coming in, are most predominantly Heroes of the Storm, which is going to be the next big one. How they can't look at those examples and just
I'll
kind of
tell
go with
you,
one of those. But I think it's just greed, though.
League wouldn't be what it is if they tried that shit before, after. Like if League came out after Dota 2, it wouldn't be what it is right now.
I think so, and they were
And
first on the scene. That's
Riot
that very
would
smart
not,
point.
Riot would not have been able to get away with the model that they're using. I think people would have lost their minds over the rune system being a thing.
Right.
If in fact they were still selling hit champions like they are, because Valve coming out giving all the heroes in Dota 2 away for 100% free, people would have looked at it like, what do you mean I gotta grind? Like my currency has to be used for something. I have to buy runes to be competitive. So, obviously I'm gonna spend real money on characters because I can't afford to spend IP on both.
Right.
I'd have to play too much, and that's just not feasible, man.
It
So
really
Riot
is not.
They wouldn't have been able to get away with that. League wouldn't be what it is right now if that was the case. Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna have to. I think, in all honesty, though, just in the long term, I think, in all honesty, until the actual players get fed up with paying all this money, and this is gonna sound horrible, I think they're gonna keep doing it. Because if I was like playing devil's advocate, or like I said, if I'm just thinking in terms of somebody who runs a company, and I know I can get away with doing something, even though it doesn't make any sense, and it's just basically being greedy, I think they're just gonna continue to do it. So. I mean, it's sad that it's from Blizzard, but I mean, if you look at World of Warcraft, how they monetize everything, the server transfers, I mean, they put a price on everything.
Ultimately, we'll have to see how it plays itself out, like whether or not Heroes actually succeeds.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I think they're going to succeed no matter what because they
I
have
think
such a big
it's
installation
gonna
base.
be difficult for them to compete with a game like Smite, and for them to compete with Dota 2 when these two games and these two companies have a pay model that is very, very different.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. That's just how I feel particularly.
But I bet you, especially since it's Friday right now, Savis, people getting off of work. Oh man, I didn't get that beta invite. Oh, well, okay, I got paid today. All right, I was gonna go to the bar, and you know what? And they're gonna. I wish I could see how many people bought those founder packs. I would love to be able to count.
We'll never see those numbers.
We'll never see those numbers, but like I said, if I was a Blizzard executive, I know comfortably we're gonna be clearing and get some good numbers and some good figures. And if you think about it, they're playing the whole new business model, which is putting a game in alpha and starting to sell the game even in its alpha stages up until the point where it actually releases to everybody. They're playing it textbook right now, and I guarantee you they have generated lots of revenue and stuff like that, and all that different kind of stuff. And it's just gonna keep going like that, and it's just how it's gonna be. And there's not much we can do about it, I think, in all honesty. But we'll have to wait and see like that. I mean, let me ask KG. KG, you like the regular people person. Are you going to spend money on champions?
No.
What MOBA game are you already invested in outside of Heroes of the Storm?
League?
Yep, there it is, right? Will you spend money? Did you spend money in League, right?
I spent a little bit of money on League, not a lot.
But keep in
And
mind,
it
though,
was like way later in after. Like I've almost got all the characters from just IP alone. So
keep in mind though, right? That's the only thing that's the only issue I have really with it. Other than that, I mean, some people I recognize the game for what it is. It's not meant to be super hardcore or anything like that, but the characters are the biggest draw. So the fact that you have to invest so much time into the game in order to play the characters you want to play, I take personal issue with that, and that's why I don't play the game. That's why I uninstall it, and that's why I have no interest in it, and that's why yeah, I don't pay too much attention to it anymore because
And that's completely understandable because, like I said, the whole marketing
that one
thing
little
is
change
pretty
though,
crazy.
I would look at it like it was such a great thing. It may not make sense. It may seem very fickle. But if they made that one simple change, whether they made all the heroes free or they said, hey, you can buy all the heroes current and future for $40, $50, $60, I might consider
I
that.
pay 100. I pay C note. I ain't
And
gonna lie.
I'm not paying $100.
I pay because me at least I could say
I'm not
okay, if the game is here 3 to 4 years from now, that's why I don't mind spending money on certain games like that have a good track record. For the most part, Blizzard's been fairly pretty good with their games. You buy their game once, good game for a long time. But yeah, I agree with you. Maybe $100 too much, but like at least something where I could say like we all could say okay, well, all our future champions are we're going to be paid for, but at the end of the day, I think Blizzard's going to make a ton of money. I don't think it's going to be big as the other MOBAs, or it could be. Look how Hearthstone blew up. They have such a huge installation base. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle stuff. But
Hearthstone had no real competition though. Still has.
oh well, that's true. They don't really have like an online the same kind of thing. Magic the Gathering is more in
Yeah,
person.
there's Magic the Gathering, but like a lot of people complained about the UI and all of that stuff. So it has no real competition. Plus, the reach on it is way farther than anything else that's out there. It's on PC. I don't know if it's on Mac. In a sense, you could say that it is because you can play it on the iPad. You can play it on Android tablets, and they're working on making
They're working
it to
on
where,
phones.
is it on iPhone? It might be
I don't think it's on
I'm not
iPhone
sure.
yet, but
They're definitely working on Android phone functionality too.
KG has the insight a little bit on Apple. Not yet, KG.
It's not on iPhone yet.
Yeah, I don't
Nah.
think it's going to unless they do it.
It probably will be because they want to do phone functionality. They've said that they want to do phone functionality, and I uninstalled Hearthstone as well. When they bring it to the phones though, I'll play it again. Strictly. I told you why
if
too.
this is phone functionality, basing it off of Apple has their own app department where they set up stuff. If they want phone functionality, then they need to make it to where they can use it on Apple phone for Hearthstone if they're doing that. Then they can do it on iPads. It's just because I don't think they've released it for phones yet because possibly the screen is just small.
They're gonna do it, but that's in the plan. Like that's the next thing that's down the pipeline. They just released it for Android tablets. It was already on. It came out on iPad like sometime last year. And the next step is the phones.
I'll tell you this: when I was walking, I was giving my friend a ride, and place where she had to get some stuff done on her. A medical place.
Flizzip 420 gets it.
And I remember I walked in, I dropped her, and she had to wait for the doctor or whatever. She had an appointment over. And I walked in, and there was like these two like little. It was one Asian kid and like I guess they were friends, and both these kids were playing each other Hearthstone on their shit. And I'm like, and it's so crazy because it's everywhere. I'm starting to notice a lot more people play Hearthstone and stuff like that.
It's available on a lot more different
platforms.
A lot more, yeah, exactly. A lot more platforms. That's why it's so big. That's why something like Magic the Gathering can't touch it or won't be able to touch it. It's very accessible, right? It's really easy to get into it. But it has too much RNG for my taste, and there's no trading, so it's not a real trading card game. You can't realistically call it a collectible card game because you don't
own your cards.
Your card library.
Because Magic the Gathering, you go online, they will ship you every single card. They'll take it out of your online catalog, but Magic the Gathering will ship it in a nice little envelope.
Copy of a digital card?
Yes, you can. You buy all.
Just remove it from your digital library.
Exactly. Isn't that crazy? That's why I think Magic the Gathering has been around for how long? And they get it. And that's why and they've survived so many other card games. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. There might be some card games like Hearthstone that kind of be, oh, well, this is shining, but 10 years down the road, there's still going to be Magic the Gathering.
I've got issues with a few issues with Hearthstone. The trading one is one. The turn timer is too long, in my opinion. You shouldn't have 90 seconds to take a turn. At most, you should have 60 seconds. But that's neither here nor there. Um, but if they made a couple of those changes, I wouldn't have that much issue with the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you could trade cards because it's like I don't care about paladins. I'm not a paladin player. Okay, just give me my druid deck, give me my mage deck. That's all I want. So I just want to collect druid and mage cards. I don't need these pally legendaries. And I understand you can disenchant the cards,
But the value is
certain
very
cards
low.
have like a 1/8 value for
Yeah.
disenchanting. Others have like a 1/4 value. Um, so a card that takes you 400 dust to craft, you DE it, you get 100 dust back. In some cases, there's another one that'll take that much, and you might get you get an eighth of that. You know. So
And that's the money draw in that game, because we all agreed that, okay, if you don't want to allow players to trade your cards, then give them a little bit extra value on the cards you break down and stuff.
Be so good. Trading is so good. Because if you don't care about the paladin play style, if you don't ever want to play it, you don't have these useless paladin cards in your collection.
Then you can trade them all.
Wants paladin cards, and you can get some cards that you actually want.
But it doesn't force
something like
people
that
to buy packs. That's the problem.
And then your idea of a sideboard, adding more strategic options to the game, allowing you to actively counter or at least attempt to counter a person that you're coming up against. Say, you know, I don't know, you come against a rogue and you think it's a miracle rogue, and you have an idea of how to counter a miracle rogue, but your deck right now is not set up exactly for that. But you got some stuff in your sideboard that could set it up. So
they could put it in the beginning of the match where you're allowed 60 seconds, or maybe if they don't want to make it last so long, make it 30 seconds. It tells you what you're going against. You're going against this class. You make your changes in your deck to this class, and then you just play.
And you can still be guessing, because Miracle isn't the only rogue play
There's
style.
different rogue play styles.
You know
Precisely.
And then at the same time, there's the RNG. You still have to draw the cards. Just putting them in your deck is not enough. So that's not just being able to actively counter somebody is not going to guarantee like, oh, well, that's going to make it too easy to win. Like, no, there's still the RNG element, and then you still have to play the cards as you draw them. So, and then you could guess wrong.
Exactly.
Guess wrong about what type of deck you're actually coming up against. You might think like, well, the meta, a lot of people are running this meta right now, like the Fatigue Druid. You might think, well, I'm going to face a Fatigue Druid. Might not be a Fatigue Druid. Might be, a Zoo Druid. Or a ramp druid or something like that. Like,
there's a lot of different forms, especially when you're climbing up the ladder. There's a lot of different variety because it doesn't start to solidify itself. I don't know if you guys might agree with this, but when you get towards higher rank, then the decks kind of become more normal, standardized, whatever the hottest deck of the month is. But in all honesty, their tournament system where they have it so that you can ban one of your characters' heroes. You're allowed to submit, I think, 4 decks or something, and you ban one, and then you're allowed to play the other decks.
Oh, yeah.
I think the way they do that is because they want people... Because think about it this way. If you could only play one deck, and then let's say you played one deck, and they let you sideboard and change stuff out, that's fine. You're only allowed to one deck. That doesn't make them... If I'm putting on my little business hat here, it doesn't make the most profits. What you actually want people to do is you want them to have 4 different decks, because then that means they have to supply the cards for all 4 different decks and get the legendaries and get the items and get the crafting. So I think in terms of them getting people to buy packs and do what they got to do, that is pretty much the way to go.
You don't have to spend money on packs, though. You don't have to.
Oh, no, you don't have to. I don't think you should, but it's like they want money. I mean, they're a business.
The thing, right? Okay, to buy a pack, it's 100 gold, right?
Right.
So technically you can buy 1 pack a day. Because, well, let's say, because we did the math, right? Because there are dailies. You get 1 daily per day. The average goal for daily is, I think, it's probably 40, but let's say it's 50.
Right.
So you take that, right? You put that to the 100 gold that you can earn by winning 30 games a day, which is going to take you quite a bit of time to actually get 30 wins unless you're just really, really good and you win 30 straight games, and even then that's going to take some time. You're looking at 150 gold a day.
Right.
You're looking at a few hours to invest into the game per day for 150 gold. That 150 gold can go towards an arena run, which arena runs tend to pay for themselves after I think 2 or 3 wins.
That's very RNG though.
Or you can just buy a pack. So
pretty
every
much.
2 days you can buy 3 packs. If you're talking 150 a day, every 2 days you can buy 3 packs.
Right.
Um, eventually you'll get all the cards, maybe, but it's gonna take you a lot of games and a lot of time to build that up. So, what people do when they face that grind is, I can just bypass it with money, you know.
Pretty much.
The same way, to double back to the founders pack. I don't want to wait for the game to go live. I don't want to wait for the random lottery to pick me for beta access. I'll just drop this $40 and get in right now. It's just a matter of not wanting to face the grind, not wanting to wait the time. You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you think they have any introductory packs or anything like that to get you started in Hearthstone, Savius?
What you mean, like early? Well, they do give a lot of. They have given some free packs out. They do that.
Oh, I mean, like maybe, like in Magic the Gathering, you used to be able to buy like an introductory pack. Starter deck is going to be like $10 or $15. They could even make the decks $20. They're very well-rounded decks, and then you can maybe get like a little one free booster or something like that.
You have the freedom. You do have the freedom to play a basic deck. You don't have to get the more complicated cards.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? This is what I said. I wanted to see someone, and I don't know if it's done. Maybe it has been done. I don't know if it's doable now with all the Goblins versus Gnome cards out and the Nax Ramas cards that are out and stuff like that. But I want to see someone. I want to see somebody take a basic deck, right, and climb the legend with it. Climb to legend. I was gonna say legend rank 1, but I'm not even gonna be that cruel.
No,
climb the legend.
I think some people have, but
I would love to see,
they've never gotten in top 20. I would think though.
Challenger run, League of Legends and stuff.
Right.
I would love to see that done. Maybe it has been. I don't know if it's been done for Goblins.
It's
do it.
It's been done.
Cards are added to the game.
I'm pretty sure it's been done, but the problem is it wasn't. Yeah. Well, now it's gonna get harder because I haven't spent any money on Goblins versus Gnomes other than the packs it gave me. I got about 15 packs, and it's a lot of the cards. I feel like my deck is lacking, but I did spend some good money with the initial set, so I did have some nice solid cards, so I can deal with it. But as I tell people, you can get the legend probably just playing. If you just bought a couple packs of Goblins versus Gnomes and just were a good player, but you have to have a good understanding of the game, be a good player, and then on top of that, you're not breaking. I don't think you would break an even into top 100 legendary with not having some nice legendary cards and some main combos of what everybody's using.
And in a lot of cases, you need a meta deck, a really strong meta deck. You're going to need some legendaries. You're right. So that's why I say I would really like to see somebody just, I don't know, maybe just to prove a point.
I'm sure somebody will do it because that's
you can be competitive in the game.
Those videos blow up on YouTube.
To play and go from 25 to legend with basic cards.
But you're not going to beat a tournament. You're not going to place and qualifies for a big tournament. You're not going to go to BlizzCon with that kind of stuff. It's not like.
What do you got to get? You got to get top 100 legend to qualify for to be invited.
Something like that, and then they have those players play each other out. But even realistically, even if you got to that point, you're gonna have to have certain cards and have certain combinations. It's kind of like somebody in the chat just said Trump was trying. Trump's done it already.
Has Trump done it in Goblins versus Gnomes?
Yeah, that's one good question. I know Trump's done it before.
From things like Sludge Belt, like double Sludge Belcher was being run, and all of that stuff was out there. When did he do it?
Yeah.
Because I know I saw like back when I was looking at the guides on like Hearthstone.com or whatever. I saw that there were packs that was like legendary basic or basic like that type of stuff for certain. But back in the day when Hearthstone first came out, it was significantly easier to do that. You could do that because people were still running like what is it, Chillwind Yeti?
Yep.
And stuff like that. And Lanson says Trump didn't actually do it. It wasn't just basic cards. He used graphic epics, etc.
Yeah, I see.
I just want to base by basic. I mean nothing crafted, just the deck that you are given by reaching level 10 of a specific hero class. Like for Mage, I don't even think you'd have a Pyroblast because that's an epic card, right?
No, Pyroblast. No, you're right.
You get Fireballs and Frostbolts, and I think Frost Nova part of it.
I think if you did like a Warlock Zoo deck, you could probably still get legendary, but that's of
even
the
like
few
the
ones.
Flame Imp is not basic, right? Like Flame Imp is a big card for Zulok. And they run like they run stuff from Nax. A lot of the zoos are running those tokens. What is the Haunted Creeper? That give you the tokens.
Here's a good question. KG, did you spend any money on Hearthstone when you played for a little bit? I remember when KG was playing, he was cursing up a storm and saying a lot of outlandish stuff, which you won't be repeating the stream. And how like somebody was in someone was in my computer stealing stuff, or somebody was in my computer, and they're messing up the code. So what deck were you playing, KG? How much money have you spent in the game? And do you ever go back and play Hearthstone?
The only amount of money I spent on the game was when I unlocked Max Ramus. So it was what, $10, right?
Yeah.
So I spent $10 on Max Ramus. Other things,
Why?
I haven't spent anything else on anything else because I just do arena mode all the time and get cards that way. And
I thought it was 20 to fully unlock Nax.
I thought it was like 10. I don't know. I can check right now.
Blizzard got him brainwashed. He doesn't even know how much money he spent. That's when you have that good job. In case he doesn't count it, he just clicks yes, take my money.
No, that's not even like that.
But
I do
see,
pay
like,
attention to that shit.
In a sense, you could say he was smarter about it because realistically, it was the more economical choice. As far as if you're considering the time and the money to be equal, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was the better choice because I spent it was 700 a wing. The first wing was free, and so you have to buy 4 wings after that. I had to save up 2,800 gold basically to buy up to open up every single wing of Nax. That means if we base it off the what is it, the 150 gold per day, if we did it that way, we'd be looking, I don't know, close to 20 days of grinding, I guess,
Somewhere around there.
to get that much gold and open everything up.
How much did you spend?
I think that's what I spent right there to unlock Max. I gotta. Oh, hold up. I'll just look it up.
Blizzard emails you and lets you know how much money you spent. They're pretty good about doing that. Like, look, you just spent $100. Is that cool? All right, we have good legal documentation, so if you try to charge back and all that different kind of stuff. But fair enough. Okay. All right, so we talked about a little bit. I think what that all evolves to do what we just talked about, which is the pricing structure and how things could maybe be a little bit more generous. Because at the end of the day, we all know it's a free-to-play game. It's massively available to everybody. It's going to get more platforms, whether it's Hearthstone or we're talking about Heroes of the Storm. And they're basically just... It could be a little bit more generous.
That one I think is going to have a much smaller chance of success, man. I just really think they're going to have a hard time getting a piece of market
I didn't
share.
spend too much, did I? Damn.
How much did you spend, KG?
No, I'm looking on the wiki and it's saying I spent $25.
You spent $25? You have any
That's
idea
how
what you can do
much
with
it costs to
$25?
fully unlock it?
That's what it says on the wiki, but I thought there was like a.
I thought it was 20.
I thought it was like a
I thought it was 20.
You spent that money.
Let me check.
But see,
I'm checking my.
But you got access to it without having to spend a large amount of time inside of the game.
That's the only reason why I grabbed it. Though.
Right, exactly. You know, that's exactly why they do things like that. They give you a choice. You know, do you care more about your money or do you care more about your time?
I think this one's set up better.
We care more about your money. We don't give a shit about your time. So we're gonna make it so, you know, we're gonna make it so it's gonna be a no-brainer to say if you have the money, you're gonna spend the money because you don't want to spend the time that it takes to grind all of that shit out.
And that's very true. There's
gonna be some people who have no problems grinding that shit out though.
No, yeah. Well,
You know?
I think
And
if you want to be a pro player,
you're
you're going to do that.
Probably won't do it. Like WoW has a /played option. You know,
they're
it's
never
not,
gonna put that in
it's
there.
not across the board because it's just like for the character, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? But you can go to your main character, your oldest character, and hit /played and find out exactly how much time you've spent in game as this character. You know, and some people are gonna have a long, like you put that's like, holy shit, I spent a lot of time in this game. Imagine if they did that for League of Legends. Imagine if that existed for Hearthstone,
I know for
you know, and this other stuff, and you hit
Diablo
/play.
3, they do keep track of all the
You
characters
gotta
really
play
easily
time for
too as
Diablo
well.
3, right?
Yeah, and you can look at your character. I think I'm well over 4,500 hours, which is pretty ludicrous.
But that's fine. You know,
They do that
that's
late?
that's.
I don't think they do that in League.
Anything other than goals
Oh,
and
you said Hearthstone though, right?
here, and
Not Hearthstone.
Diablo 3.
because you play the game.
Oh yeah, I got fucked, dude.
How much you spend? Is it over 50?
This time? No. I think max is like 25 or something.
25 makes sense because there's multiple wings and they charge for each wings. I mean, I like my wings and stuff, but like they did it just like Wingstop. They Blizzard charge you extra and they charge you extra for the ranch sauce. Actually, I think at Wingstop now they do charge you for the they do.
But I
Bastards.
remember
If it's extra,
there was a reason why I bought it for cheaper because I think there was some kind of deal going on.
I think there was a deal and maybe that's why you got it for cheaper.
Yeah, because there was not all the. I had bought that when the first wing came out, and there was a reason.
Well,
why.
the first wing, it was free.
$14.99 or $19.99.
The first wing was
It
free though.
Something cheap, dude. It was cheap.
And it was not that cheap. I'm hold on.
As everybody's checking, I don't want to check how much money I spent on Bled game. I spent a good amount. I'm not even gonna front with you guys. It's probably well over 100 something because I got a lot of slot cards.
And I guess it's still so it's still up here. The official post of it when they were announcing it. Yeah, see, it was 700 gold or $7 a wing. So it would have been $28 if you had bought it one by one. You could unlock the whole thing. It was $10 if you already owned the first 3 wings. If you own the first wing, which you got for free, it was $20. All 5 wings was $25. So if you only had the first wing and you bought the rest, it was $20. If you owned the first 2, you bought the rest, it was $15. You know, so on and so forth.
Well, I think in general, hopefully things get a little bit better. I think they did buff the dailies for gold a little bit more, but I could be wrong. I don't play in the first one now.
So I couldn't say, and I don't follow it. I don't follow the news posts or anything like that. So,
But
yeah.
as long as Hearthstone doesn't have, like you said, a competition, they won't have to adjust prices at all.
It's already successful, so I mean, you know, it's not like I don't want the game to die or anything. I mean,
No, but I think it's fair enough to say, hey, you guys are going to make a ton of money anyway. You guys can reduce stuff a little bit better.
So look at this. Here's my amount of time played on Diablo 3. And I took a huge fucking break, too. Let me just add it up. So my Witch Doctor has 91 hours and 20 minutes.
91 hours.
Yeah, but this was
4,500 plus.
Yeah, but this was way back when it first came out, and I stopped for, 2 or 3 years?
KG, when it first came out, I had it like 3. This is not to be proud of, but I had about 340 hours like put in by like a month and a half.
I had more than that. I had 91 on the Witch Doctor. I had 104 on my Wizard.
I wish you could see my face right now. I'm giving him such that little baby, his little characters.
And 157 hours on my.
You see my troll face, KG? I've been practicing. How many hours do you have?
I've not played regular since before they fixed the Wizard glitch where they were able to
go arcane forever. Hey, KG, look at my face right now. You see my face? How many hours you got? He got real quiet.
Hey, I'm not even gonna log my Wizard in there.
All right, so
I probably don't even have
so in closing, here's the Storm and Hearthstone pretty pricey, but people are gonna buy it anyway. And I can see them switching out the prices for Heroes of the Storms in the future because there's big competition in the MOBA scene. But Hearthstone, I don't think they're
have
gonna change
adjust,
anything.
man. They're gonna have to adjust.
All right, so the next topic, as we all did, and you guys might have watched me stream this game yesterday, and it was horrible. League of Legends Season 5. What? 10 placement matches, 6 for 4. Went from gold like 3 all the way down to silver 3.
This though, I wouldn't worry too much about did you play? Have you played a game after being placed?
Yeah.
How much LP did you win or lose?
I gained like 30 LP.
Yeah, I gained about 30.
Your MMR is significantly higher than that. I don't like the tier system already. I think they should just go back to the old, just flat out ELO, MMR, whatever you want to call it, and just let it be that. You know, they have this system set up so you can be like, yo, I'm number 1 in silver 3.
What they need to do is they just need to give you a knife, a rock, a gallon of water, and a backpack, and just send you in there and just be like, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. About 99% of you gonna die. Looking at you over there, black, and I'll be like, what? What'd you say? Oh, I'm probably gonna die. And that one little Korean Asian kid's gonna be the one that's the 1%. I'm not lying. They need to make it go back in the old days of League of Legends when it was just like, well, let me check what rank I am because I have to see how much numbers I got. There was no rank. They took it from StarCraft. That's what it was. Because StarCraft had a good system, but the difference is StarCraft is a 1v1 game, and the system works very well because you're only accountable for yourself. Inside of League of Legends is a little bit chaotic. Because for solo queue, you can dual queue with 2 people. StarCraft, you can't do that. You can't ask your friend to come in.
Dual queue and ranked is a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
That is definitely.
So I was making fun of KG that he got placed in. What'd you get placed in? Gold 5?
Yeah.
And KG got a worse record than I did.
But what was your rank last season, KG?
It was gold 5.
You would go 5 last season?
Yeah, I got to go.
Were you playing against like plats and stuff a lot?
I was playing against
with plats and stuff a lot?
Gold 1s and 2s.
So yeah, your MMR was pretty high. You had an MMR that was close to plat.
I had over 800 ranked games played, so.
And yeah, so your MMR was pretty, but you were just getting bad. I guess you had bad luck in the promos, so you never actually made it up there. We actually didn't discuss the rank.
Bad people are bad, dude.
We can save that for another time, I guess.
Real quick, if I wanted to play ranked right now, I only have 4 characters, and I'd have to buy 6. And if I'm gonna spend money on characters financially, the best money to spend your money on is a $10 champion. So I would have to spend $60 right now, because I'm not gonna buy bad champions to play ranked. Because when you play ranked, you don't want to play like Lily or somebody terrible.
Hey, okay, real quick about the Heroes of the Storm rank thing. Then it's dumb. You can queue up with 4 people.
Yep.
And I understand the system wants to match you against other teams that have 4 people. Still dumb, because there's that one guy in there that's not a part of the pre-made who's gonna get trolled.
Yep.
You know, no matter what happens. You know, the one guy who's on the other side, the winning side, he's gonna be nice and happy and get carried. One guy's gonna lose inside, he's gonna get verbally abused. Yeah, there's a mute option and shit like that.
But they can all report you. All 4 players reporting you.
Duo queue and ranked of League of Legends is duo, trio, quad queue. That is the most ridiculous shit I've ever seen. That's so stupid. You know, just you have your 5-man ladder. 5-mans go there. If you got 4 buddies, you got 3 buddies you want to queue with. Hey,
You get an extra friend.
Go get 2 more friends and make a 5-man.
You can go inside the random chat room and be like, hey, does anybody want to be on this team? And a random person will be like, yeah, I want to be in a team. I want to belong. And then you all become friends. And then after a week, you realize the team is terrible and you all curse each other out and you lose your friendships. And that's okay. But like we were saying, season 5, I like season 5. It's fun. It's refreshing. I don't like how they did it with the placement matches, but I'll say this. If you're a good player, you'll get exactly right back to where you were before.
See, and that's what they said. And see, there was a soft reset on MMR. So you lost a little bit of your MMR. But they also said that the placement matches were not going to have that big of an impact on where you were placed at. So that bronze players can't go on a lucky winning streak and get placed high up in gold or plat, and then just because they suck and don't belong there, tank all their games back down into their back where they're supposed to be. And high ranked players are not going to get unlucky and go 1-9, which if you're that good, you know, how can you go 1-9? But still, you're not going to go 1-9 and then end up in bronze and you're a diamond or you're a former plat. You know, the highest you're going to get placed is like plat 5, I think, anyway. I don't think you can get placed plat 1. I think plat 5 is the highest you can get placed out of promos. And then you're going to have this inflated MMR, and every game you win, whether you stomp it or you struggle for it, you're going to get, like you said, you had 30 LP. That means your MMR is significantly higher than the tier that you got placed into.
It just feels like you go through boot camp, which is ELO hell. And yes, it does exist. I don't care what anybody says. ELO hell exists. Look at my face.
That is real.
And me and KZ had to work out an ELO hell and devise a plan to climb out of it. Now, with that being said, it feels like they sent you through boot camp and you climbed out and you finally made it through basic training. You're like, yes, I never have to do it again. I had some good memories. I remember it. I appreciate it. I don't ever want to go back. And then the new season comes along and Ryan's like, well, we're sending you back to basic. Have a good day. And then they say, well, I'm like, why do I gotta go back to basic? I already did basic. They said, well, if you did basic once, you could do it again. And then they kick you right back down there. And while you're down there, buy some skins. And then they just walk away. Buy some skins. Buy some skins.
To be real though, those skins are nice, man.
Hey man, it's not like World of Warcraft skin. When you buy a skin, you buy a skin. It's like a property purchase, and that's why they had to stop people from selling them skin codes, because some were getting like $500 for one skin.
They were balling off of selling those skins.
Man, we be on the corner selling skins.
Skins are amazing, man. It really is.
Championship Ribbon. Victorious, what was it, Morgana? I think KG has that one. I saw you buy that skin. Rich motherfucker.
You can't buy Victorious more.
You know Victorious Morgana came from winning being gold, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
That was the award for ending the season at gold last. You should have gotten it unless
I don't play Morgana. I hate her ass.
It don't matter.
She just
got her anyway.
She's like a hoop-de-doop, like kind of like.
Hey, run that Morgana.
No, I'm not playing Morgana jungle.
It's legit, man.
It's fiddlesticks all day, and if it's not fiddle, it's Vi, and if it's not Vi, it's
I haven't done my placements. I was gonna do them today. I might play some later anyway.
I think you should. And you should record it and go through the rage that me and KJ went through.
I'll probably stream it a little bit later.
Savius comes in, he's talking to people, gets placed like bronze 5, and he's gold last season.
Bronze 5, dog. Like that, man, it's glorious down there.
It's just, let me put it this way. When you're in bronze 5 or bronze, you are just, and you're good, and you're meant to be in gold or plat, you're just murdering people where the game is not enjoyable. And then once you get to silver, then you get to the point where you get to those people that just came out of bronze 5, so they don't give a fuck, and you got them silver people who've been in silver ever, and they're trying to get the gold and get the hell up out of there because they're tired. And they get very agitated. Like, you say one thing and they'll feed and sabotage themselves. I'm sorry. I had a moment. I relapsed.
Just control dragon. 5 dragons wins the game.
That's pretty much how it is. Oh, that's one big change we should talk about. I mean, they really changed dragon to the point where it's really serious.
Well, what they did, here's the thing, right? Commercial.
Oh, well, we can keep talking. They'll have to suffer through in the chat.
What they did was, I feel like they made it they dumbed it down in a sense, right? And a lot of people might not understand what I mean by that. About saying like how did they dumb it down? Well, here's how I feel they dumbed it down. Dragon used to give you global gold, right?
Yep.
You would make a conscious decision on how to spend that global gold. It was up to you. You know, so they removed the global gold and they just put stats to every single dragon kill that you would get.
Which
so
makes the game a little bit more accessible.
For you.
That's what I noticed as well, too.
You know what I'm saying? You're getting stats. Dragon still has gold value. It's just like, it's not gold in the sense of, hey, I got this gold in my pocket, I need to go
it's an accessibility thing. Because I think Riot still wants the game to be accessible.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Because, and then I've noticed in the jungle, you cannot smite the non-main mob anymore at all. And I think they do that because people were miss-smiting stuff, or maybe they clicked the wrong mob. So that's another little thing.
You can't smite the
You can't smite. If I'm on blue,
is it not possible? Hey,
you
why
can't.
Did I hear some stupid? Is this true? if you die to one of your buffs, do you get the buff back?
I haven't had that happen. Every time I died, I haven't checked. I haven't noticed. I assumed it could
Like,
be.
not you have to die. I think to the buff itself.
Yeah.
Like you have to die to the blue buff, but the blue buff dies, or some stupid shit, and you get the buff back.
So they've been doing. I've noticed like they've been doing things to make things a little bit more. Because like when you add the crab in the lane, like when you get behind in jungle, you used to be able to counter jungle or hurt somebody.
They used to.
If
Supposed to do some like health runes at the river that were also
and they might introduce that later, but
happened to that.
if you counter jungle, it doesn't even feel like it's worth the counter jungle. You're better off doing only thing the counter jungle is of course blue and red. That's it.
Yep.
And then all you do is you just do your jungle thing. You assist the lanes that you need to. But even now, I don't even help top or mid. I just camp bottom and just try to get the dragons because that's it.
I noticed even on Fiddle, do you always start with the blue buff?
I always start with the blue buff, but I changed up my routine today. I started with the frog, and let me tell you, me and that frog, buddy, me and him are best friends.
Yeah, because the little poison.
He gives you that poison. It's off to the side. You know, if people want to try to take your frog, they gotta come all the way over there. It's easy to flash over the wall. Your top laner's there, and it's like, hey, I can actually help you kill this guy a little bit and get to my lane. It's fantastic. I remember
I don't think
KG.
it's worth stealing somebody's gromp.
No, it's not. I remember KG heals Fiora. KG be on top lane Fiora, and he's like, hey, come do this buff right here. Don't do that first. Do the frog. And I'm like, and I didn't listen to KG. And I was like, nah. But the frog, when I kill the frog, I hit level 2. I throw my crows, my little silent crows at the blue buff. It hits them all, does damage, bounces, and puts the poison debuff on them. That shit is amazing. If you're not starting frog, yeah, or however the buff works, I don't know. I haven't looked into it. All I know is everything is poison and shit just starts dying. It's amazing. Did I mention it's amazing? You need to start with the frog, and if you start red, you need to start with them little heavy-handed golems. Yeah, level 2 off the mouse by himself. Amazing.
That frog is the shit.
So, for the most part, as long as we're not talking about leagues, pricing structure, the increase in cost of champions, and things of that nature, I could say they did a phenomenal job, and it's always refreshing to see how they put so much effort into the game and they change stuff. I don't mind sending Riot my money because I could get a lot of hours into it, and it is very fun, and it's a really good esport to watch as well.
Yeah, the Golem Stun only works on jungle minions, well, just minions in general. It may work on lane minions, but it doesn't work on people. But
Yep.
I would say this though about Riot, and to be 100% honest. If I hadn't already invested a few years into the game, and I saw that, I'd have the same feeling, I'd have the same opinion about them and their pricing structure right now, as I do about Blizzard and Heroes of the Storm.
And that's totally understandable.
There are two companies, right? And well, three, even because nobody plays Strife. People probably don't even know what Strife is.
Hey, there might be that one guy out there watching right now and be like, motherfucker, I play Strife.
You know, but I saw Heroes of New Earth. This is the same company that makes Heroes of New Earth, makes Smite, basically, or Strife, rather. And they have the same situation. It's not a Founders Pack, per se. It's a boost, right? All the heroes are free. They sell a boost that it's like, all right, well, you level up faster. That's it. That's what they sell, and then they sell skins. You buy these jewels, and then you buy the skins with the jewels. I think that's how it works. So something like that. Same shit that I said about high res and the way Dota does it, you know, give us all the heroes free, or give us a way to make all the heroes free by giving you a one-time fee. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all we need. That's all we need, that's all we want.
And I think that's the right direction, but I mean, we all like the season. I like season 5. You guys on? I enjoy it so far. We all can agree. Season 5 League is going to be fun to play. It won't be boring. How do you feel, KG, Mister? I like to only go for your top.
He's playing that Annie, though.
I don't only go Fiora top.
He also plays Annie. KG likes little girls.
Wait a minute. No.
You know, when we do a kill, he'll be skipping and hopping down the river down the bottom of the lane. He's like, kill, kill, kill. And then all of a sudden he flashes out of nowhere. Everybody dies. And you're like, okay, well, that's nice. and all that good
The
stuff.
normal thing. Hey, don't make it sound like it's a normal thing. It needs to be amazing every time.
Okay.
Hey, see that? I just got both them.
So that's for League. It's it's not much to say. It's the same season. They made changes to the jungle, and you can find all that interesting stuff on the website. Next point, we cover Heroes of Storm Founder Packs. Put a little bit of Hearthstone in that too. We talked about League of Legends. No flying. We'll talk about World of Warcraft. They have an upcoming new patch for World of Warcraft, Blackrock Foundry, and then also no flying mounts still in World of Warcraft with the next coming expansion. Savius is our big World of Warcraft guy. Funny thing is, little side fact, KG and Savius both play druids, and they both think they're the greatest. Well, I'll say Savius could probably is greatest druid of all time. I think KG's like undisputed. Like KV had, he claims he plays all of it. He plays Resto, he plays DPS, everything.
Hey, were you Gladiator? Hey, were you Gladiator, Savius?
Savius doesn't PvP. He PvPs with his druid.
Hey, I cleared all the content and I PvP.
Well, real quick, the no flying thing, I think that's pretty cool because everybody can fly everywhere, and they said eventually they are gonna go grant flying, but later on, right, Saviors?
Listen, this is my belief, right? They were like, okay, well, we're gonna give it to you later. I've heard some crazy stuff. They're like way back. I don't know if people will remember Wintergrasp in Wrath of the Lich King. Remember how Wintergrasp was supposed to have? Remember there were supposed to be these like gnomes or whatever. Like you were supposed to have these flying things that you could do in Wintergrasp, and that's how you could do it. There were supposed to be flying vehicles, and you could attack and battle, and there was going to be air combat. Apparently, they're supposed to be attempting to bring that in a new patch.
I hope they don't.
But that hasn't been that's not a part of this. This is just in the rumor mill. But anyway, I feel like the restriction of flying mounts right now, and then them saying, well, we'll give it to you guys later. I think they have no plans whatsoever to put flying mounts into the game. And truth be told, they're not necessary.
No, I don't think so either.
You know, they are.
Plus, it brings back that old world feeling. So, like, basically, because what frustrated me with flying mounts, people used to always fly and do some crazy stuff and fly out, right? Like, especially in PvP.
That's what I drew it.
Yeah, see, I don't like people like him. KG does that. He terrorizes people.
Fly for him.
But now, the cool thing about it is, if you play on a PvP server, maybe if you don't do PvP, this is still pretty interesting because now, especially on a PvP server, it gets real serious because stuff goes down. Nobody can just simply fly away. They get on mounts and they can ride away, but
most people are really, really civil. If you're out in the world and you're trying to do something, people generally don't bother you these days.
Most people are civil.
Hey, that's how it is. That's the only way to describe it, man. They're very, very civil. Like, see, KG's the anarchist out there. He's the guy who likes the chaos. You know, but most people are like, yo, I'm not gonna bother this guy. He's just questing, he's just waiting for this mob. Hey man, what's up? You hit him with the head nod, you know, and you going about your business, you know. Now, some people pick on like low levels and stuff. There's those scumbag guys out there that'll have a guy that they significantly
But this is what happens. They kill a low level or kill somebody going after an herb. Then that person gets on their main. Then they kill that person. Then that person got to bring their posse. Then all of a sudden, there's one guy who's just brand new, who's questing, is watching all these people just going at it in the middle of a field that doesn't even have any relevance to any quest or anything, just brawling. But, you know, I will say, that's the kind of thing that makes stories and brings people closer together and people really can remember and relate to.
I remember that shit. When that shit would happen. I loved it. I would laugh at that shit so much. Like, holy shit, they gonna get this guy right. What the fuck is happening?
What?
Pretty much, man. I don't know what he's saying, but he gets really excited when he talks about WoW because he loves what he'll do is he would come down. He would say, like, cyclone somebody. Then he would pick his herbs because he's an herbalist. Then he would recyclone. Then he would ensnare. And then he would get them real low. And then they'd be trying to heal themselves. And then he just let them go. And then they think they're about to get away. Then he let them start summoning their mount. Then he knock them off the summoning mount. And then they try to get away. Then he recyclone him. He's one of those people. He just can't kill you and let it go. He has to make your life Like he would terrorize people.
Yes, that's me. I'm sorry.
That's what he does. But I mean, it's a part of the game. But I mean, the no flying thing, I understand that, and that makes
it
sense.
isn't necessary.
It's not
I don't
necessary.
mind it. Like the mounts themselves, like you really don't even notice it. And there are all these like nice little things. Like there's a feather you can get from a quest that launches you into the sky, and it puts you in a position like you start gliding across the sky. That's how I get to the raid every night.
Yeah, you were telling me something like that. You're
just
going
like
around
in
just gliding like a boss battle, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why is that?
Walking
He's
in
a
the
healer.
sky.
He's like a guardian angel. While he's floating, he be healing lobies and be like, "Why does it happen? I don't know. Every time I do this quest daily, I'm getting low on HP, and before I die, this druid just heals me. It happens during this specific time on this certain nights by this raids. I think I try to target it one day. Said Savius. I just called my guardian Savius. This is my guardian. This guy playing way too much StarCraft and losing. Every time you lose a medic, a Terran player zoses a match versus Zerg. You should feel horrible. All right, so the whole flying thing, it's not much to talk about. Just deal with it. I mean, they're still gonna pay this subscription. They're gonna keep on playing. The next thing is that the upcoming patch 6.1. BlackRock Foundry raid that's coming out. I know you said a lot of people are actually upset. They actually have new stuff coming out. They're upset and new stuff coming out, right? And they're complaining about it because they got this next raid coming out. I know Savius has a lot to say about it, so just go ahead, Savius, because I don't understand how you can complain about that.
And I have the page brought up. So okay, BlackRock Foundry is coming out on February 3rd. Right? They got a weird little rollout schedule plan for the LFR and all of that stuff like that. But it's not the LFR guys, the more casual raiders or whatever, that are complaining about it. It's the Mythic Raiders. There's one guy, and I'm not going to read every comment, but he's got like 135 upvotes, maybe higher now if I refresh the page. But he's saying that Mythic, the non-world first Mythic guilds are going to cry, like he can see them crying because they typically try to do one boss a week. That's what they want. And giving them new stuff to do apparently is going to interfere with that. And I don't understand the complaints about, like, if you're still working on old content, you don't have to drop that just because new content comes out. And these same people will be the ones who later down the line, like they even said it, like, hey, Blizzard, this is your problem. This is why we have a year and a half worth of content, because you bring stuff out too early. What they fail to realize is this raid that's coming out is a part of this tier. It was supposed, like, in the past, they would bring stuff like this out. All of this would be available at launch. They staggered it. The first raids didn't open up until what, a month later?
Yep.
Right? The expansion came out November 13th or something. The first raid came out like December 6th. They staggered things. And this started back in Pandaria, with them starting to stagger, and you only had Mogushan Vaults to do for a while, then Heart of Fear opened up, and then Terrace of Endless Spring. So it started there. But now, I don't understand how people can complain, because just because something new is available doesn't mean you have to run off and do it, and like I said, if you have a game, or you have a car, or you have any type of product that you have, and a newer version comes out, you don't have to go get the old version. It's like, all right, you run in Windows 7, you like Windows 7, it's functional, it does everything you need it to do. Windows 8 is out. You don't have to get Windows 8 just because it's there.
I'm just shocked that people don't realize that they should be happy in World of Warcraft because they're developing a lot of content and stuff like that.
Do the work that you need to do to finish your progression. Once you finish your Mythic High Mall and you're ready for BlackRock Foundry, then go start doing BlackRock Foundry. Don't feel like you need to rush and get it done just because it's there. It's not Blizzard who is forcing this on you.
I never heard of people who complain about
you
content. I'm a Diablo
being,
player. You know
you
how much
know.
content we get, Savius. We don't even got a guarantee of future expansions. When you talk to World of Warcraft developers, like, yeah, our future expansions.
They're already talking about. Well, they're hoping it to last 10 more years.
Exactly. And I'm saying at least you're getting content in Diablo. I don't know if I'll have tomorrow. Y'all might see me at your local 7-Eleven doing growth, serving you drinks and big gulps and be like, Debo, the dream didn't work out? Nah, player, they didn't release that new expansion. Your boy had to get a little part-time job. I have never, I don't know, whatever Blizzard got, their voodoo witch doctor, priestess, drug, whatever they got these players to complain about content.
That's exactly what it is. They're like,
they're brainwashed.
Please slow down. Like, what?
You know what? I don't understand, man.
Content.
How you gonna complain about new
I
content?
don't understand, like, how people can feel that way. Like, how you can feel that you need to stop your progression on one tier of rating or in one raid, say, well, I don't want to raid in here anymore, just because a new raid comes out. Like, you don't have to. Just do what you want to do. Keep working on the same raid. Like, if it were me and it was my group, we would continue working on High Mall. You know what I'm saying? We would continue working on High Mall until we felt like we were done, until we cleared it.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
That's what you're concerned about. You keep working on it until you clear it.
Because you're not going to go to the next raid without clearing the original. I mean, unless you cleared like 13 out of 14 monsters and you have pretty much all the gear. But then again, if you clear 13 out of 4, you're probably going to do the last guy anyway. It's just...
But the only reason to rush,
is if you're racing.
Is, exactly, if you're racing.
If you're not racing, who cares?
Which, it's not about a race. Everybody's not in the competition. Just because there's a ladder there, just because there's a leaderboard there, doesn't mean that everybody's in the race.
Save this, my friend. Once you start putting trophies on the table, what happens? Everybody gotta get a trophy.
Out of it. But here's the thing: people are gonna be at the top. People are gonna be at the top. There's always gonna be those best guys, and no matter what Blizzard does for you, how they try to slow content down or anything like that, you'll never be able to catch those guys that are in the lead if you don't actually want to do something.
And going back to Heroes of the Storm, when they took away last hitting, they took away individuality.
That was the nature of the game, though. The game is meant to be very, very casual.
And I agree, but they probably did that. Well, that's what they said, but they got that pricing structure just like a MOBA.
Yeah.
But the big thing is, I'll say this: no matter how accessible you try to make a game for people, there will always be the people who took it to the next level, and people who are not. There's always going to be people chasing the people top. I'll be right back. I got chicken coming in. They delivered me some chicken.
Hold on. They got delivered. But yeah, I mean, there's no sense in that to me. There's no sense in complaining about this. The guy says you guys rush every starter tier of an expansion, and then the end tier goes on forever. Well, people are actually, there's a lot of people who miss clearing these final bosses. There's going to be a lot of people who don't kill Mythic Margok, and they move into Foundry. And they're going to do some of the easier bosses in Foundry and stuff, and then they're going to over-gear for Mythic Margok to the point where the mistakes and everything that they were making is going to make up for their weaknesses in gear, and then they're going to go back and do it, which is fine if that's what you need to do, but don't talk about how the content is being rolled out, because just because it's there doesn't mean you have to do it. If you're not max level, you don't have to be concerned about what dungeons and what raids are coming out just because you're not at that level yet. You need to focus on getting to 100, get to max level first. Then you worry about the raids. And you get there when you get there. You move at your own pace. What are they saying? You need to slow down? So we need to slow down so you can catch up, basically. And I'm not ahead. I'm not racing with these guys. I'm not up there where Paragon or Method or any of these guys are. My guild's not there. We're 1 of 7. We're working on old grounds right now. I have no problems with Foundry coming out in, what is it? It's not 10 days. What's today? The 23rd. Foundry comes out.
I'm sorry about that. I'm back now. Nice user. I got a treat stream set up.
February 3rd.
Max6 sent me some chicken, so big shout out to him. He sent me through the treat stream. If you guys don't know what treat stream is, it's an automatic way. If somebody ever wants to feed me, they can. I made a menu list of food I like.
Did he send you a 2-liter?
He sent me a 2-liter Diet Coke and a 16-piece wing with ranch. I'm not gonna eat it on the stream. I ain't eating it on the stream being ghetto like no. I'm gonna eat it afterwards. But shout out to him. From Domino's. So a certain portion goes to Treat Stream to keep them in business. A certain portion goes to fight world hunger. Some of it goes to me. It's not much, but hey, I'm like I said. So you were what were you talking about while I was gone, Savas?
Oh no, I was just talking about people feeling like Blizzard needs to slow. First of all, they don't understand. They're not rushing anything. This isn't a new raid that they just finished designing or anything. It was originally meant for release on January 27th, which is in 4 days. You know what I'm saying? It was originally meant for that. They delayed it a week.
Well,
it could have been back in the day. We could complain about it and say, "Hey, Blizzard top guilds cleared Mythic High Mall in 4 days. There's nothing to do for 2 months. What the fuck?"
Well, my big thing is
we could be upset about that, but we're not, because back in the day,
it was ridiculous in terms of
as Cataclysm, right? As early as or as far back, or I don't know, maybe as recently as Cataclysm, I guess is what I want to say. The first tier 11, you had Twilight Citadel, you had Blackrock Depths. Was it Blackrock Depths or Blackwing Descent? Blackwing Descent was in Blackrock Mountain, and you had Throne of Four Winds. All of that was part of one tier, right? 3 different raids, all opened up same day. No staggering, nothing. Nobody complained about having all of that content to do in a single day. You know what I'm saying? No one complained about that shit. Move on, we get through. Tier 12 was Firelands, 1 raid. Tier 13 was Dragon Soul, 1 raid. We get to Tier 14, and Blizzard decides, well, people are eating content too fast. Let's slow things down. So you get Mogashan Vaults. And then after Mogashan Vaults, like a few weeks down the line, Heart of Fear opens up. And then after Heart of Fear,
you remember back in Ulduar? That's a perfect example. What was it after Ulduar?
Ulduar was a single raid too, though. As
well,
Trial of the Crusader.
But how did they do Trial of the Crusade? They gated it though.
They did gate.
They gated the hell out of it.
They gated Trial of the Crusader.
And people got really upset and really mad.
Yeah, there was literally, because there were 5 bosses in there, but you could only do 1 hard mode boss like a week until 5 weeks or whatever.
I don't think what it was is you had 1 boss every week. You couldn't do hard mode at all. No one could until you beat the last boss, and then next week it was just you could just do all the hard mode bosses.
Oh, okay, so yeah, that is how it. All right.
So
they also gated up ICC. So yeah, you are right. They did do something like that before.
So people got mad when they gated the content, and now Blizzard's providing you extra content, and they're telling you, hey, this content is just an add-on. We were going to release it all at once.
NBC too.
Yeah, they did.
Sunwell was
exactly. Oh, I remember that. And
people were upset about the gating, and then they stopped gating, and then people were like, so now they're gating again. They still gated this. Like, this is still gated. Like, it's been 2 months. What do you mean it's too soon?
Not to mention the certain amount of time you had to wait before even the first raid opened.
This content has been available since Mythic has been available since December 13th, I think, a week after December 6th. Because you had to clear either normal or you had to clear heroic to get into Mythic.
Right.
If you're at that level, well, I don't understand the complaint here. If you're that slow, right?
Right.
The new raid being there in front of you is not gonna make you any faster or slower. It's not going to harm you. It does nothing to you. It's not going to stop you. Just because BlackRock is there doesn't mean you have to stop doing high mall.
No.
Just do high mall.
But just people don't want to do that. I guess
focus on high mall.
I don't understand this. It's a common sense thing, because we said if you are not racing, it doesn't matter when you do the content, and you'll probably get the content done before the next patch anyway. Who cares? And even if the content piles up on you, That long gap they're going to have after the final patch before the next expansion, you still have more stuff to do. It is content. You don't have to pay extra stuff for it. Basically, what they did is they pulled a Sonic and Knuckles in Sonic 3. Because back in the day, you guys may not know, the Sonic and 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, all the stages of Sonic and Knuckles were supposed to be in Sonic and 3. But it was such a big project, they had to split it up into 2. I kind of see them doing it like that. Look, this raid encounter was so huge, let's split it up. They give it to you 2 months later. I think it's how many months after the expansion started? In November, right? November, December, November, December. This is fine.
2 months, yeah.
I don't understand what the problem is. This is pretty nice.
Here's the thing, though. I don't understand how there are so many people who feel this way. First of all, it's like they don't understand. High Mall and Black Rock Foundry are part of the exact same tier. The same tier, right? Which means, in a traditional sense, they would have been released at the exact same time. So you would have had High Mall available, and you would have had Black Rock Foundry available. Black Rock Foundry is designed to naturally be slightly more difficult than High Mall. It rewards better gear and requires slightly better gear to even enter. You know what I'm saying? Not just to walk in, but to do it and have a chance to actually kill the bosses. You don't have to rush this. Everybody's like, why is Blizzard rushing? Blizzard is not the ones that are rushing.
They're not going to rush.
You feel like you're rushing. You feel like you're being rushed because they're dropping this content down there. They may be doing this to give their top players something to do. Paragon's bored. Let's give them something else to race for. I have no problem with that. Gives me something else to watch.
And then on top of that, when they do the content, by the time you finally get your situated, getting your little mythic raid done for the first set of raid dungeon, and you move on to the next one, the content is out there. They already made videos for it. They have diagrams and stuff, and you can digest it and then move onward. And, oh, hey, look. We used to do that all the time. Oh, man. Back in the days of Insidia, Insidia knocked out this fight with Hard Mode Mimron. We mimicked their fighting, and that's what we did.
Videos to come out
and then a month later we beat it, and we were cool with it,
which is perfectly fine.
Yes,
just deal with the trickle down effect. Like I still don't, like I said, I just don't get how these people can feel like, because a lot of people are like, well, there was a holiday, you know, and so a lot of people miss raid days and stuff. But again, why is that relevant? Why is that relevant? How is that relevant?
It's like, how dare you release content during the holiday season? I don't want to see my family. I want to be stuck up in a raid with 29 other people just wiping over and over to roll on a loot that I'm not going to get.
I had no problem raiding on Christmas.
Well, yeah, you get shit done. But I'm just saying, like, I tell people, like, this is what I always tell people. We said we don't even want to call people casual. Casual is not a bad thing. We call them entitled people. When they pay their money and they think they're entitled to whatever and however they want the game to be, it's like, if you're growing up and you're becoming an adult, you have responsibilities. And if you don't have enough time to play and do all that different stuff because of the holidays, I'm sorry, it's a part of getting older. We all deal with it. You got to be with your family. I'm sorry. I don't understand. Play Diablo for a while. We don't get content patches. We had 6 months for the first season of Ladder. 6 months of crawling through the same dungeon. And now, we're finally going to get another season. This first season hasn't even really ended yet. It's about going on about 7 months. Half a year for one season. Back in Diablo 2, it used to be every couple of months. And then now people are getting mad that you're getting free content, and it's like only been, 2 or 3 months since the game started? You should just be happy you're not in Diablo 3 predicament. Alright, so we cover that pretty good. Let me see here. What else we have on the list? Filipino village bans Dota.
Hold on. I'm gonna link this.
And they do that. What?
Yeah. KG came out of nowhere.
You didn't hear when I was talking about this, man?
I just got here.
Nah, I talked about this.
KG, how come real quick? How come every time you come back, first he had a white shirt looking scruffy on the couch, then he leaves, he comes back with a shirt and a fedora, and now he comes back with like a fancy leather coat. Oh, you're so vain.
Because I just got this food.
Did you just go out to Burger King and get food and come? There's gonna be people who. there's gonna be some people who come to listen to this Debo and Friends for like informational stuff in the gaming world, and there's gonna be some people who just, can you just make a mashup of KG parts? Can you just get rid of the 2 other niggas on screen? Just put KG in. Just have him on screen. Oh, I hate you. I hate you. Don't laugh at KG. You encourage him, chat. It is not funny. You're encouraging him. You're all enablers. He left. I thought maybe he had a mercy. He goes down the street, get Burger King, comes back like, hey, what you guys talking about? Anyways, Filipino village bans Dota. Basically, long story short, Savis put me on this story. 2 kids were playing Dota in a Filipino village, and things got heated.
Oh, stabbing! I remember that.
And one of the kids got stabbed. Maybe it was an altercation over the game. And the village, if I'm not wrong, Savis, they banned Dota from that village.
So this actually, like, reading it a little bit further and figuring it out, there were 2 stabbed to death. So 2 died over incidents that stem from the game. This isn't saying if these 2. It says the latest stabbing incident happened last November. So
wait a minute, this is not the first incident? I mean, there's been multiple stabbings?
It's serious business.
Look, people over there in Philippines, the way you playing Dota, I cannot tell you how many times I have played ranked in League of Legends and people just do stupid stuff. I'm drunk, I'm playing ranked. Let me tell you, ranked is serious business, okay? The only thing you gotta care about in life, food, water, shelter, ranked. And once you step into the world of ranked, it's a whole nother thing. So those kids, you know what somebody did? They probably played a lane they weren't supposed to. They probably played a champion that wasn't in the meta. And you know what? Shit got real.
They consulted 30 computer shops in the village. I assume these are internet cafes.
Yeah,
it says the owners admitted that they could not contain the violent demeanor of teenage Dota players.
I love it.
Hey, motherfuckers out of control, man. It says the game was forcing students to cut class, say profane words, and neglect their studies. Like, says the young though for their young whose lives are being ruined by Dota. This resolution was crafted out of love.
It's just funny.
Let's see what happens. Computer shop owners who will violate the resolution face the following penalties. First offense, suspension of shop operations for a month. Second, revocation of business permit. And third, how is there a third offense if I don't have a business license?
Hey, this is third world but see, this is a third world country where they actually care about their kids' education and values. They don't play that shit in other countries. If this was America, this would be unconstitutional.
Permanent closure of computer shop and non-issuance of business permit. So basically you take it and I have to reapply. But if I do this a third time, I can never get another one and my business gets shut down. This is like...
In America, the blame would fall on the kids. But out in the Philippines, that's the kind of stuff, we need a couple things like that in America. And I know that sounds horrible, but like I'm telling you.
Bro, we don't need that here, man.
I don't mind that.
Hey, we would never get another GTA game ever again.
And that's okay, because I'm sick of people trying to act like they life out in their online social media and stuff.
They banned it in Australia. They banned, like, I know Manhunt was banned down there. I think they banned, like, GTA 5 recently.
Let's say I had a friend Corey, and Corey did some stupid stuff, fed like 15 kills in rank, doing something stupid, and it was his fault, and he's drunk, and he says, I don't care, I'm just gonna do what I want. You a beepity beep 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 beep. You lucky I didn't really come to your house and I'll mess you up.
You know what? You know why that wouldn't, like, stuff like that doesn't happen here? Because we don't game in internet cafes.
No, exactly. We do it from home.
Like, I guess the Philippines and Taiwan, and even in Korea, they go to in Korea they call them PC bangs. I don't know if that's the same thing everywhere.
Bang bang. Sorry, I had to do it.
It's an internet cafe, and the way they set up the internet cafe is actually like you get like free accounts or something. They get some crazy shit as far as League is concerned. Like they can play as much as they want. They have special accounts that come with all of the characters and stuff like that, and I think all the room pages and rooms and everything. Okay, it was just Australian Target. Okay. but it wasn't banned from the entire country. That's
Well,
interesting.
my thing is this. And this is gonna sound crazy. Like if the
Yeah.
government ever made something where they took away internet anonymity, it has evolved from basically being having freedom of speech and to view your personal opinions to just basically not every place, but there's a lot of places people say the most outlandish, hateful, or act the most craziest ways they would never act in real life. So this is a good example of when stuff goes down in their country, you can walk up in your PC cafe, walk across the street to another cafe, and handle your business. I thought you were running your mouth up in the game.
Playing in the same place.
And that would have been fantastic. It should have been bad. Because if you're very nice and you try to play no one's gonna stab you even if you're bad, as long as you're not talking shit and you're just being, hey, I'm sorry, I'm trying my best. They may not want to play with you anymore, but they will not beat you up. Okay? That kid was probably running his mouth and saying something about his mama's pot roast and just disrespect. Your mama's pot roast is dry.
Hey, mom's pot roast. Damn.
That's what I'm telling you. So the kid gets up and he's like, he's about that life in the hood. We will call him, excuse my language, we will call him we will call him a real nigga. And in the hood, when you talk shit, you get hemmed up. Hemmed up means you gonna get stitched up because they gonna cut you and they gonna stitch you up. So the kid was probably running his mouth and he got hemmed up. I like stuff like this. Okay? Because it teaches people that they can't act a certain way online and expect not to get it. Now, I don't want the kid to get stabbed. And I agree with the whole schooling stuff. I don't think the shop owner should be punished. I think that they should punish the kids for skipping school, and parents should be parents.
What they're doing is because Dota is flat out banned. This is why the shop owners, I guess they don't have home computers or something. I don't know what the situation is.
Oh no, they can't afford that. It's too expensive.
To the cafes to play
Way
the
too
game.
expensive.
But the cafe owners or whatever are not allowed to let these kids play Dota. They're not allowed to run Dota. And so it's on them. It's allowing them to have the responsibility, you know, for themselves. That if you really want to risk it, then that's on you. Just to let some kids play Dota. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that. I absolutely understand that being a situation. The question is, what if you have some kids who are rich enough to afford their own computer and home internet, and they still play the game at home? Like, how do you deal with that?
Oh, you can't, but if you're inside of a cyber cafe, you want to cheat, you want to hack, you want to run your mouth, remember, you could be playing versus the kid right next to you.
Yeah, but I guess, yeah, you're unlikely to get stabbed.
That actually happened out here. It's happened before. I remember one kid was hacking, I do believe, in Counter-Strike playing in a cafe. And they were doing ranked team competitions, and they found the kid who was hacking, and they shot the kid. They stabbed the kid. And he got stabbed in the head. He lived. He was fine. Nothing got messed up by the graces of God, sweet baby Jesus, merciful
Where
Lord.
was this?
This was in Korea. Sorry, it was in Singapore. I always mix them up. I don't know why I do that.
Is happening in
but the thing is, when you're playing these PC bangs, people will find you. So if you're hacking or cheating or talking crap, if you don't talk crap or keep to yourself, this won't happen. But it's when people get really about that. I know you're not drinking a strawberry smoothie just in front of everybody. Like, God, KG is so random. Anyway, I don't condone the violence. But my whole point, the thing is that at least if you run your mouth, some people may not go against you, but at least gives you the option that if somebody needs to get hemmed up, some people just need to get hemmed up. And after they get hemmed up, I guarantee you he's either going to practice his ass off in Dota so he doesn't fail again, or he's just not going to talk shit.
Yeah, that shit is crazy.
In the hood, you get stomped out for that. I don't feel bad at all.
I don't know if they needed to ban the game though.
No, that was extreme. They don't need to ban the game, but kids,
that's
too much.
Been thrown out. Like they've been trying to do that for games in America for years. Politicians. Hillary Clinton was one of those politicians who like I may not, if she runs, we're not going to get into politics, but like she's one of those politicians who was campaigning against gaming, specifically what they call violent games or whatever, because they wanted to come up with some sort of correlation, and they talked about all of these studies. But if I'm not mistaken, there haven't been any conclusive studies done that link violent behavior to gaming. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, I'm all for them banning games and on those studies and stuff as soon as they make it so that all the politicians cannot basically serve one term and get paid for the rest of their lives. So if they take a pay cut, they can do whatever they want, which is never going to happen.
Banning the games is not going to solve the issue.
No.
Those games didn't make those kids violent.
And that's
violent.
And in America,
had the potential. Where did they get the knife from?
That's not going to happen.
You know what I'm saying? Did he start carrying a knife because he was playing Dota?
Hey man, you might have to carry a piece when you go play Dota at the PC bang. Hey, stuff goes down. Hey, can you imagine if they had that in America? If everybody played in PC bangs, especially like what if you lived in Florida? Stand your ground. You would have shoot-ups every Friday, Saturday nights with them kids after they play Dota in Florida, and it'll be all stand your ground shit. That would be some shit. You would have kids shooting across the street.
I think that was a recent thing too, where they were trying to link the guy's interest in first-person shooters to him going on whatever rampage or doing whatever the fuck he did. They tried to place a link between those two things, which just doesn't make any sense, man. Games don't make you violent.
I don't think that. I think it's your environment
I will say this, though,
and your parenting and stuff like that.
Some games can bring out the worst in a person. League of Legends, games like Dota.
Oh, y'all don't watch the VOD of me playing League. I'm terrible.
You cooperate with other people for your success. I think that's the biggest issue. Like you were talking about how the reason that you play solo is because people suck.
Yeah, basically.
You know,
not everybody, but it's a lot easier. There's some people. You got people who are willing to learn. I love playing with those people, and then you got the people that you try to suggest them, and they get real sensitive, and they don't want to take any advice, but yet they keep messing. I hate playing with those people that don't want to try.
Overall, you end up in a situation with these things like online gaming is weird, and games that force you to cooperate, right, with random strangers, people you don't know, whether it be Smite, Heroes of the Storm, Counter-Strike. You know, it's worse when there's a game and there's no voice comm. Like Smite has curse voice. I don't know if it's implemented within the client itself now or what, but I know.
But I don't know if they can have a voice client because I'm really fearful of the children. Did you hear about that one lady who was sending inappropriate pictures and voice files to a small 13-year-old boy? I just think we should cover that. I'm just kidding. Well, long story short, he was on Xbox Live and he had an older lady who took interest in the boy because she liked how he looked in his profile picture. She was like those lady predators. They like to get those young boys. She starts sending him all this stuff. And the mom came across this kind of stuff, but I guess at the end of the day, be a better parent and monitor your kids and all that parent shit. But I do agree with you. They do need a lot more voice comm because at the end of the day, just like in Counter-Strike, you can always mute somebody. And you just
That's exactly it. You know, you can always just press the mute button. You can always block people. I feel like in competitive games, if there was voice communication, a lot of reason that there's so much frustration with people in these forced cooperation situations is there's a high lack of communication. In a game like League of Legends, man, it's a real-time game. Things change from second to second. You know, I'm playing as a support with my AD carry. I need to be able to communicate to him what I'm about to do because when I walk away, I go in and I die. You know, I'm Leona. I'm going in. I can ping all I want to, but that wastes time. If I'm able to just say, hey, I'm going in, and he knows this, he's ready to follow up right away. I can't type that because that wastes time. You know, it just makes for a better situation if you do it like that. I understand people are still going to be toxic. People are still going to be assholes. That's why we have the mute feature. That's why we have ignore. If somebody's being a dick, if somebody's trolling, mute that person. You know what I mean? And it's that's not an excuse to have a lack of voice comm in a real-time game that forces you to cooperate with strangers. You force me to cooperate with strangers, and you give me this archaic way to communicate with them. I'm not sending a fucking email. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking to them on AIM or anything like that. I need to be able to communicate with these people in the most effective way that I can, and voice communication allows me to do that. And Riot was so against cursed voice, and High Res embraced it.
You know why? I think because they're worried also and partial of their female player base too.
I'm keeping my eye.
I think it's their female player base because they don't really play with that shit. And I know some people say, "What do you mean female?" I'm like, relax. Before I'm just saying.
Cause
I think women might be like, "I don't want to play your game. I feel uncomfortable with the voice chat," and I think Riot will listen to that shit.
I don't know.
They're very catering to that because a lot of them want to play like Phil Victim and shit like that.
You don't always have to talk though.
That's true.
You don't always have to talk. You can just listen. Like you just be able to hear me.
But you know there's gonna be somebody.
Like we'll use vent, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, well, I don't have a mic. That's cool.
And then all the white knights come out. Because one thing I'll say, I'm playing devil's advocate here. I don't want to be in the chat thing and, tell somebody, be like, hey, get your shit together. You know that I ping you 5 times. He's coming bot lane and you're feeding. And then, it happens to be female, and she's like, why do you gotta keep criticizing me and blah, 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 because I'm a girl? It's like, no, you're just bad, just like the other guy top lane's bad. I'm not trying to be a dick. Let's work together. We can win this game, but you keep getting fed. Well, I'm gonna do what I want, and I want to go to this lane, and I'm gonna do how I want to build, and I want to build a last whisper first, even though I don't even have a big sword. They'll do, and then the other 3 people on my team are gonna be like, yeah, bro. Leave her alone, dog. Why are you criticizing her?
That's why they have the option to report people for refusing to communicate.
And you know what they do? Say this with that refuse to communicate. What does Riot do? They sit there in their little office and they have this old school like 1992 printer with the little paper things you gotta rip off the edge. Hey yo, dog! Somebody actually sent a refusal for communications report. Why does it come up on that old computer? Because we thought it was a good joke because no one ever reports to this. The other one that talks about people cursing each other out and being assholes, that one is on a high fiber optic printer. That motherfucker got to print out 30 sheets in 30 seconds. But I get what you're saying, man.
I don't know. I think it'll work out, man. I think that voice communication is incredibly important. Lack of communication, rather, is one of the biggest issues that people get so upset with the games. You're not upset that your mid laner made a mistake. You're upset that you couldn't communicate to him. You tried to. There's a ward there. You pinged danger. Okay, well he's like, all right, but he can't see the danger necessarily.
And in all seriousness, though, I do agree with you. It is basically, for how big Riot is and how much technology they have and how much money at their disposal and how they can just basically there's no reason not to. It should. World of Warcraft, even though albeit shitty, has one.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like.
And then in certain games like StarCraft, you don't need it because it's just 1v1. But any kind of group game, you should have it. And that's just how it goes. So that was let me see here. I don't know how we got on this. Let me see here. So we cover Heroes of the Storm, a little bit of Hearthstone, League of Legends, Filipino, and it looks like our last topic, and then we'll close this out because we're getting close to 2. I don't even
think we need to cover that one.
We can cover that. No, we got to cover one because I spent my money on that game. It'll be a nice little 2-hour podcast. Last topic. Dragon Age Inquisition PC still plagued with issues. All right, let me go first here and say this. I've had a lot of issues with that game. Between if you set the game to low resolutions, because I was trying to get it to work on stream with my all the characters' hairs look like shiny plastic was melted on top of their heads. From anything to when I got my first horse, which I called him Mr. Bubbles. I'd be sitting there and I'd do like the little whistle, and I'd be like, the fucking horse comes out of nowhere. I kid you not, I could be in a cavern where there's nothing else around. And I just whistle for Mr. Bubbles, and the horse is like, what's up, dog? And I'm like, how the fuck did you get in here? And sometimes the horse gets glitched. I remember I caught the horse once and it spawned the horse in an endless like cycle of dropping into nothingness, and the legs were kicking and shit. It was horrible. Between the plastic hair, Mr. Bubbles who comes out of nowhere, not to mention the NPCs that were glitched, I had this one enemy who would just walk around me, looking at me, give me the crazy eye. If you go watch the stream, give me the crazy eye, look at me like this. And just walking around me in a circle like, just not doing nothing. Or the game not loading, constant frame drops, and PC... This falls under the category we all can agree. When they develop a game for console and they put that shit on PC afterwards. It doesn't happen for some reason when it goes from PC to console.
That they had that it was a console port.
It was, because if you play that shit with the controller, it plays so crisp, it's ridiculous.
That's another issue about that, like the controls not being optimized for PC. People expected it to play the control scheme and everything to be more like Dragon Age Origins. You know, for the PC. Like, it was a game because BioWare was hyping it up. Like, yo, this is a PC game designed for PC gamers, you know, by PC gamers. And then they got it, and it's not optimized. There's frame rate issues and all of this stuff. So people were really excited. I was seeing all this good press about Dragon Age, and then it come to find out, I guess they're not talking about the PC version, because apparently the PC version is a giant piece of shit.
Yep. I mean, okay.
And it still doesn't work. It still doesn't work 3 patches in.
Let me say this.
And it still doesn't work.
The storyline is phenomenal. The gameplay is excellent. I'm just talking about the game. I'm not talking about platforms. The game
Don't play it on PC.
It's a 10 out of 10. Don't play it on PC. I played it on PC, and it pains me because I gotta stop because the constant slowdowns and shit, and I got a good computer. I'm not even streaming in the slowdowns. Like, I got my two-handed sword, and I got this badass ability where I spin around in a circle. I know it sounds real simple, but every time I hit an enemy, I get stronger, and I spin faster and faster. And let me tell you, that slowdown is terrible. And on certain bosses, you need to time certain things, especially when you're fighting the dragons. When you get a slowdown on the dragon, you can get comboed into some crazy shit where you just die. Like, it was a console game made first. I would wish they would have did like Rockstar, make the console game first, take their time, then release the PC, and that's okay.
It's odd that for even for Rockstar or Bio, because they both started on the PC. You know, so it's weird to see companies seemingly trying to, like, pulling away from PC gaming, and you see all these games that are poorly optimized for PC and stuff like that.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
It's really strange to see that kind of thing.
What was the other game with that guy? A hacker game by Ubisoft?
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs. Oh,
horrible for PC.
the fans had a patch day one that fixed the game.
For console too, like, weren't people just overly like?
The console was bad because they said that it's gonna
look shit like the E3 trailer.
Exactly. They had high-end computers that could run the frame. It didn't run like that. And I read somewhere where, I think maybe you told me that, or somebody said that the developers don't want their games to run at 60 frames per second. They used to tell a lot of people saying that the eye could only see up to 30 frames per second, and that's a damn lie. The human eye can see over 200 frames per second.
Like, I was watching the LCS stream earlier. They're streaming in 60 frames per second. It's a noticeable difference.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got money like that, but
it's
I just think companies just, like I said, as long as the consumer keeps buying faulty products and just basically just, because when they released Assassin's Creed Unity, Watch Dogs, and even Dragon Age Inquisition, people still defend them, and as long as those people defend them and they keep ponying up that money, they're not gonna do anything about it, dude. They're just gonna keep paying their money and they're gonna keep producing subpar ports. I'm trying to think, is there anything else?
I have hopes, man. I have high hopes.
Grand Theft Auto ain't gonna have no problem on PC. It's gonna be running clean, I bet you.
I hope so. I hope it's good.
That's not Rockstar. Rockstar will wait.
I hope the online is ready, but yeah, I don't. There haven't been a lot of complaints about Rockstar games rollouts and stuff like that. Somebody was complaining, but there's this big modding community for GTA on the PC and everything. There's big mods for GTA 4. I can't wait to see what they do with GTA 5, especially because the game is beautiful, man, and this is...
You know, one of the weirdest mods I remember from San Andreas, and then also they did it with 4.
The hot coffee mod?
No, not even that. They had a mod. Wasn't that popular, surprisingly, where it turned all the black folk into white folk and all the white folk into black folks. So like all the police officers were black people in Andreas and all the thugster people were Caucasian people. I was laughing my ass off. I was playing that shit all week. You know?
Nah, not a lot of streams, especially on Twitch or 60 frames. But I actually wasn't sure that you could do it. But that League of Legends stream that I watched earlier, it was one of the best looking streams I'd ever seen on Twitch. And I've seen a lot of guys who put 1080p, 60 FPS.
It's not.
When I go check that shit and it looks like garbage. I'm not waiting on a fishing mod. Fuck fishing.
I'll tell you what. Let's all pull together.
Hey, you know what? If Rockstar put fishing in GTA, it might be great. So I might not hate it, but yeah, like fishing in WoW, no. That's how I feel about fishing in WoW.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, there you go. He got that soundboard. But in long story short, it's not just Dragon Age Inquisition. You know what the biggest thing, the reason why it's having a lot of problems, Save is I don't know if you guys know this, they made a new big stride in anti-pirating in those games that require you not only to be on Origin and doing all this kind of stuff. It's somewhere in the code where it's consistently checking like your RAM or checking game files and stuff. We'll say in the full discussion for the next time, but long story short, it's a program that runs. That's why it took them longer to how do you say bootleg Dragon Age Inquisition. It's not impossible, but it really takes a lot longer to bootleg games now. But at the cost of you can't even put your games on the SSD drive no more.
But see, the thing about it is the hackers are the ones who are creating these security measures.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it eventually just leaks out. It's just a cycle.
Pretty much. So, anyways, I think that's pretty much good for Debo and Friends today. I'll be uploading this video tonight. If you guys got any suggestions or comments of what we should be covering in the next show, or you guys got good links to future content or things we should be covering in the gaming world news, anything from esports to Wild Warcraft to any scandals, and hey, send some scandalous stuff. I like scandals. Like some Zoe Quinn stuff. If you guys don't know about that, Google Zoe Quinn. Anyways, leave it out in the comment sections. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow. By the next show, I'll have KG's little Savius thing for Savius and KG, so they'll have their little borders around there, like little pictures. And I know KG didn't say much today, but he for the people that tune into KG, do you have any words? Do you have any words of wisdom in your fancy leather coat and your fedora hat inside your apartment, living in fucking California, when you know you don't even need that shit on? You try to look soft and late. Do you have anything you'd like to say, KG, before we leave?
Maybe you should get up on your numbers, then, nigga. Get up on your numbers.
We only have you on the show for the 2% of the lady demographics and the other people that want to come in and entertain people.
Get up on your numbers, nigga.
All right, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. There'll be more of this in the future. And we will see you guys, if not next week, within another 2 weeks, or we might have some interesting stuff in there. Who knows, in a couple days, and for all together, we might just do another one. So you guys take it easy.
Milk. You like that breast milk?
I'm ending it right now. Bye. Hey guys, if you appreciate the video you just watched, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Make sure you check me out at twitch.tv spsdebo. And then if you'd like to support my future endeavors, just check me down at patreon.com/Debo. Thank you for your time, and check you guys later.